Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Giving a quick little tidbit of news here before I get to work today. New core set announced post Phantom Nightmare. So this one will be after Phantom Nightmare. As far as the TCG is concerned, we've still got about another month before we get Age of Overlord. Then probably another 3 months until we get Phantom Nightmare. And then 3 months from that, this set would drop. But the OCG is getting Phantom Nightmare in like a month. So then for them, they're only about 4 months away from this guy. So just on the same timeline, just like one set back from them. But anyway, the name of the set is Legacy of Destruction. That's really where the fun comes in for these types of videos, is because Konami does tend to like to name their sets with a little bit of hint as to what the cover art and support is going to be. Going back just fairly recently, we have Phantom Nightmare, the set prior to this one. Nightmare is a commonly used word in the U-Bell support. Case in point, U-Bell is the cover card and support for that thing. Age of Overlord, I believe the word Overlord is used in the Z-Arc support, so Z-Arc was the support there. And then Duelist Nexus. Duelist Nexus is a little more weird, it's a little more generic, but if you go back, there's like cases where they're using pretty clear descriptive words in their naming scheme that kind of alludes to their cover art. Now, it's also important to know, because this happens every time I make this video, I say, what do you want from this set? And everybody puts something that has like destruction, you know, all over the stuff. Like they put it in chain because it's very destruction based. And I'm like, guys, I'm serious. When Konami names a set something, it almost exactly only talks about the core stuff. Like the cover art and whatever is related to the cover art in terms of support. It is not related to anything else in this set. It's kind of a bummer because I know some people look forward to like specific things that it might be talking about. Like Phantom Nightmare, a lot of people were like, Phantom Knights. And I was like, sorry guys, I don't think this one's Phantom Knights. And of course, it hasn't proven to be so just yet, but we'll see. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Couple things that I think, because I always like to take a little information from these. I don't think legacy means anything, but destruction, I think, is the key word here that I think they're to hone in on. There's 3 things that I think come to mind more than anything. The first one is Blue Eyes. If you go through some of the Blue Eyes cards, they've got multiple cards that have destruction in the name. Case in point, the ultimate creature of destruction, but also stuff like, I want to make sure I get this, photon stream of destruction, and I think there's also at least another fusion in here that could allude to it as well. Calling Blue Eyes like destruction. I know in Blue Eyes' text he says something about destruction. There's burst stream of destruction. They have multiple cards that use the word, and it's Blue Eyes, right? This could be arguably one of the top. This is arguably one of the top 3 most popular fan archetypes in the entire game. I don't see why Konami wouldn't want to use this as a selling tool to help push the set. Secondly, we have Buster Blader. This one I think is a little more interesting. I actually think this one might actually have more legs. Konami doesn't always want to do Blue Eye support in core sets. Not to mention, they actually did Blue Eyes as a core set support not that long ago. I think within 2 years. So they'll put Blue Eyes anywhere else. They'll make Structured X. They'll put it in side sets. They'll put it as like exclusive cards like they kind of did for the tins a couple of years ago. But not always, they're not going to do it in core sets that often. But still, and so I think Buster Blader becomes pretty interesting because, going through Buster Blader, you have Buster Blader the Destruction Swordsman. You have Buster Blader the Buster Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. You have, continuing down the line, Destruction Sword Flash, Destruction Sword Memory, Destruction Swordsman Fusion, Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Make sure there's a Karma of the Destruction Swordsman. And I think that's mainly it. But like Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman, Protector Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. Like honestly, it's they use the word destruction in so many of their stuff. Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. This one would be one where like if we got legacy support for Buster Blader, I'd be very, very interested because they have like a good normal summon. They have some really good tools. Some of the traps and spells are actually really nice. Their end board piece of the fusion guy is pretty broken. And their link is actually good for their archetype. They actually have a lot of pieces that if they got 5 to 8 cards like cover like support tends to do for core sets, that would actually be so nice. So I think this one actually is probably my leader for most likely, but you still can't discount Blue Eyes as a possibility. Two more small things. Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction. There's a couple different Gandora monsters, but I only threw this in there because it has destruction in the name, and he is used by Yugi in the anime at certain points. I think it's mainly later on, but still, it's used by Yugi. He's in the anime. He has destruction in the name. I felt like I'd be remiss to not throw him in there. And there was one more that I actually forgot to throw in here, and I actually just saw it. But it's like Garlandolf, the destruction guy, King of Destruction, because he also has a ritual spell called Ritual of Destruction. Does the world really push rituals even harder? I mean, we see the new ritual archetype in the set prior with the new Silent Fork stuff. There's definitely a world where, Konami does like to pile on support sometimes and be like, oh, this stuff works with this stuff that just came out, so it helps push that old stuff as well as this new stuff. It gets like, it intermingles and makes you even more excited. I could see that being a thing as well. But those are just the only other really small things. If you can think of anything else that's maybe a little bit more low-key, not as obvious as, every single Buster Blader card having destruction in the name, or, half of the Blue Eyes support cards having destruction in the name, please let me know your thoughts down below on that stuff. But at this point, I'm really crossing my fingers for Buster Blader. I know they've kind of been an engine that's been almost solely based around setting up that lock. It is really powerful, but I do think there's a world where they're able to support it and just give it more versatile ways of playing and not force them to just be like a lockdown type of deck. I'd love to see, and I'd love to see them get a lot more tools. That would be really, really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on this. What archetypes do you want to see here, related to the name, and then we can do another video later on talking about what we wanted to see for the full breakdown of the set later on. So I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, sorry if this video is a little longer than it should be for a video that's just about the name of a set and nothing more, but you guys know me. But I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.